Hello there. So today I want to talk about power of politicians. I know I've said all this stuff before, but I think it's worth understanding everything in its proper perspectives and all the different perspectives. And I think one of the perspectives that we need to consider is the power of it all. What are politicians? They're people controlling power. That's ultimately what they are, and how they're trying to control the power is what we need to consider. I think we all know this in some level, but we're not actually really outright thinking about it. We're not thinking when we're voting people into office, we're thinking about their power. And I think every single person that we're voting for in office, we got to think about the fact that what are they voting? What are they actually for? Are they going more left? Are they going more right? Are they going wherever they're going? Are there things about the right that are just like the left, which there are, as far as I'm concerned, going back like 30 years, that we should worry about? I think yes. I think if we're going down the same path where we're doing the same stuff they were doing then, and we're thinking we're better than they are, we're just gonna be just like them. I don't know how that's not gonna happen. The right was against these things back then, as far as I know, but now the right is not against these things because we're better. But they were just like us. This this doesn't add up here, and I think we're just falling into the power grabs. We're falling into where the power is leading us. We're essentially leading. We're following the herd rather than leading it. They should be the sheep. The politicians should be following us, not the other way around, and they're leading us. It's one way or another. You might think this is just conspiracy. It's speculation. It's all nonsense. But at the end of the day, as far as I can tell, the left was here and they went there, and now the right is here. But for some reason, the right thinks they're not going to go there. Where the left had the religions, had the religious people, had the values, had the constitutional stuff, had all the same stuff, but were much more moderate on everything, as the right is today. They had the extremes too back then. Don't get me wrong. That's the difference between the right now and the left was then. People on the left then did have the more extremes of the left in it back then, where the right doesn't actually have that. Supposedly there's an alt right that you can say is that, but I don't really know of them. Back then they had the hippie movement and they had the whole sexual revolution. They had all these different things going on that was really part of the extremists of the left, and there was really talk for communist ideals and different things like that. The left was always for these different extreme things. So the right does have things the left doesn't have. However, there are still things that they do that is parallel or the same even as things from the left, and that's a dangerous route to go down. They could just find themselves going. I would not be surprised if you see extreme right wingers somehow looking the same as extreme left wingers. I would not be surprised if that happens. And I think the reason that would happen is because the people are following the power rather than being the power. We, the people in America, need to be the power, and the people we're voting into office, are working for us and should be serving us as our employees, and that should be the control for the country. How we be a country of liberty and independence and all that stuff that we need for this country to be. But we have to understand the power grabs and what's going on, and really vote in every single person you're voting in every single time. Don't think for yourself for a second. This person you're voting to office, they were good last time. You know all their stuff. We saw Obama. He went from one way moderate to extreme left in a matter of 2 terms. And we've seen this also with numerous politicians on the left over the years. They were all much more moderate in their initially, and eventually now, like, I don't know, 80 years later after they took office, not literally, but I'm exaggerating, but they went from like young men, or rather middle-aged men, to really old men, and those people went from moderate to extremist, and the left is following the herd. The leftists are the herd. They're being led by the leader, whatever it is. Anyhow, that's my message here. Don't let the power take over. Fight the power. Be the power. That's not what I mean. I mean to be the power, not to fight the power is a whatever. I don't care. It's not about fighting the power. It's about being the power, not letting the government be that power. So fight against the government being that power, I guess you can say. It's all about the people. It's all about the freedom and all that. Anyhow, like, subscribe, share. Thank you. All the best.